Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We had our largest tournament yet for Common Charity. Duelist Advanced format has brought in some crazy pieces for a lot of decks that were already really strong in the format. And in this finals match, we have Fiend Pile versus Melodious. Melodious winning the die roll here and making it really hard for this Fiend Pile player to go. So Ostinato is a one-card insane combo in this format. So they start off with Baka into Refrain. Refrain is going to start off the Concerto, and then they just get to pop off here, doing a ton of stuff. So Concerto makes a second copy of Baka, then they link off into the new card, Ashlyn U1000, triggering the Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon to summon out Vortex, and then they go ahead and do a bunch of chain links to be able to summon out the Soprano as well as Cannon. And then from there, they overlay into Code Igniter, and then Code Igniter searches out Cyber Sage, and then Ashland reveals the Cyber Sage to search out Cyber Angel Ben 10 here, and then they use the Code Igniter, tributing off Ben 10 to ritual summons the Sage, and then Ben 10 searches out Archlord Christia, and now the Christia lock is just that much more consistent in this, and then the Cyber Sage makes Drago Stapelia. Looks like the Melodious player even forgot to search out their sidekick off of the Code Igniter that they linked off. So they would also have that negate too. And then they just summon out the Christia, and unfortunately Fiend Pile just has to scoop there. So the Fiend Pile player starts off by activating Opening of the Spirit Gates, gets met with Herald of the Greenlight, but Tour Guide is going to summon out their new card, Buio, the Dawn's Light. So Buio is going to be able to search out Mutiny in the Sky, and now they can just kind of make Barricade Borg Blocker instead of committing to the Fiendsmith sequence. So they search out Mutiny in the Sky, and then they activate Mutiny in the Sky, shuffling back the Buio and the Tour Guide to make Aerial Eater. Then they use the Aerial Eater here to send off the Evil Hero Sinister Necrom. Sinister Necrom is then going to activate, summoning out the Infernal Rider from their deck, and then search out the Dark Fusion. From there, they're going to use the effect of Malicious to banish itself and then summon another copy of Malicious. Then they overlay the Malicious and the Infernal Rider into the Pilgrim Reaper, triggering its effect to make both players mill 5 cards here. They do mill off the Whitestone of Ancients and unfortunately the third copy of Malicious. Not great for the Fiendsmith player, but they are able to stay pretty resilient here. They link off into Moon of the Close, then General Rattan, and then end phase they're going to search out and summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon. The Melodious player is going to start off pretty strong, going into full Melodious combo here. And then the Haggard Lizard Dose is going to help them break this Blue Eyes off the board. Kuop is going to search out the Concerto, and then Light Dragon Ignister is going to pop the Rattan, and then Light Dragon is going to swing over Blue Eyes and pass. Jet Dragon's going to swing, and then they're going to set a card and pass. Ostinato off the top, not good for the Blue Eyes player here. So Melodious is just going to keep popping off. They also have that Hand Trap in the hand, as well as Herald of the Orange Light this time, and it's not looking great for this Fiendsmith Pile player here. The Concerto combo is just going to start triggering here. The Vortex Dragon happens. They overlay into Code Igniter, search off the Cyber Sage, revealing it to search out Ben 10, and then ritual summoning the Cyber Sage. And unfortunately, I think this is just an OTK here. I don't think there's anything that the Fiend Pile player can do here. And I'm just, oh man, it's just so powerful. Such a strong deck. Look at this end board, y'all. This is an insane end board for commons only. You got Decode Talker, Christia, Refrain, Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon, and Drago Stapelia. So that's it for Duod number 14. Let's get into these decks. So here we have the second place list, Fiend Pile Blue Eyes. This player, Snapdragon, has been really successful in these dailies, so their deck building is pretty solid. I'm really enjoying these lists that they keep producing. The Fallen of Paradise with Haemon at line is pretty sick. I've watched them draw a few cards off that before. And then they're also on these White Stone of Ancients as well as Jet Dragon and Blue Eyes as a pretty solid engine piece. And then the Tour Guide and the Buio just really allowing them to pop off with the Fiend pile. And then they're also randomly on Eldritch and Delta of Invitation as a tech choice. Again, in their side deck, they're on this World Legacy, World Shield, and then in the extra deck, some cool tech choices that they have are the Black Rose Dragon, because they are on Destrudo, so that's pretty cool. And then, other than that, the deck is pretty standard from where it was before. This edition of Buio the Dawn's Light is pretty solid. This card is insane, y'all. This card is so powerful. I can't believe this card exists. Being able to just search a spell card that lets you fusion summon is just extremely powerful. So let's get into this Melodious list, y'all. So here is the Melodious list for you guys. It is a super powerful list. This deck is just super consistent. It's going to force other decks to just be on a lot of hand traps in this coming format. Just with Droll and Ash Blossom being able to stop the deck pretty well. Not completely, but be able to take them off of an Omni and Christia lock is pretty important. So cards like Ash and Droll and Imperm are just going to be that much stronger into this format. 3 Upstart Goblin makes the deck 37 cards, but does make it a little bit more susceptible to Droll. And then this new card, Ashland 1000, is just super powerful for this format. They can search the Water Leviathan ad Ignister going second, being able to just bounce all your opponent's monsters that are weaker than 2300, so that's pretty valid. In the side deck, they're on more Heralds as well as a Mahad and a second copy of Christia and 2 copies of Lancia and then Raigekis and Twin Twisters. That's it for Common Charity Daily number 14. After number 15, we will be switching to a weekly tournament. There will be a weekly Swiss every Sunday night, so make sure you guys tune in with that. And without anything else to say, thank you guys so much for all the support you guys have been giving me. Thank you so much for showing into the tournaments, showing up for the tournaments, and then supporting me, and especially on the channel. You guys are just amazing. I cannot believe the amount of support I've gotten. If you're going to be at Nationals, I'm going to be giving away a couple of Common Charity decks to people, as well as competing in the National Tournament myself. So make sure you guys stop by if you're in Indy and you see me. I'll be wearing the big old Gores hockey jersey. So this is Gores hopping off.